Good morning, everybody. It is March 21. It's Friday today. This is a special Friday, Change the Shed. Glad you're all here. I'm seeing lots of people log in and tell me what they're working on. That's great. As I wait for YouTube to finish their ads, if you don't know about this book, this is the book I wrote. If you're new to Change the Shed and you're just learning about Tapestry, I recommend grabbing a copy of The Art of Tapestry Weaving to help you through. It's also a good reference. I wrote it, of course. It's a good book. I'm happy you're all here from all over. I've been looking at where everyone is coming in from. Sweden and Switzerland, and y'all are working on stuff. Sybil just finished a new largest tapestry with graphic shapes, and now she's exhausted. Glad you could finish that, Sybil. Hilly's here from the Netherlands, and Renee from Massachusetts working on the regular hatching module in the color gradation class. That's a fun class, if y'all didn't know I had that one. Maureen from the Shetland Islands, ready to do her sampler for warp and weft. Excellent. Julia's here from Germany. Figured out the right time. Yes, time changes. Sorry, you all. I don't know. I mean, the time changes in Europe are off by a couple weeks from the time changes in the United States. I have links on my calendar to figure out what time zone you're in. So if you go to my calendar page on my website under online learning, it says calendar. There will be a link there that tells you what time Change the Shed will be at your location. Paula and Lou's here. Aaron's here. And Matt is here from Denmark, working on a double warp tapestry. Awesome. Nan's waiting for her Eris loom or a Ross. Fantastic. It's such a great loom, which is what I'm working on today. So that's awesome. Nan's also working on the Tapestry Discovery Box Hatching Garden. That's a fun project. The current Tapestry Discovery Box is open you can register until the end of March. So you only have another week plus to register for that. And then we'll start taking orders for the next Tapestry Discovery Box, which is Color Harmony. It's going to be very much fun. That opens right around April 15. So if you're interested in the hatching box for Tapestry Discovery Box, get that in the next week and then get ready for Color Harmony. We're going to do some color theory for about 6 months in the Tapestry Discovery Box. It's going to be a lot of fun. Alita's here from South Dakota working on Change the Shed. Not Change the Shed, Summer of Tapestry. I think she's working through Change the Shed. Awesome. You made me think of Summer of Tapestry, which is the other class that is opening soon. So you have time to take the Color Harmony class for Tapestry Discovery Box starting in April. And then the Summer of Tapestry, which I do every year, opens. The warm-up prompt opens May 12th, but I opened registration yesterday. So if you want a spot in that class, you'll find that registration's open on my website, and there's a few hints about what we're going to do, but it's going to be another fun year of Summer of Tapestry. Susan's here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Marlene is here from Texas. Margaret's here from Glasgow, where she just started a project on the Shacked Eris. Inspired by everyone enthusing about their treadle kits, I have to say I really like the treadle. You'll keep hearing me say it. I've been weaving with this. This is the first piece I've done with the treadle, so I'm only 2 inches in. So, but I can't see myself changing my mind, so it's great. Thanks, Paula was giving me kudos for this book. Excellent reference and easy to navigate to find specific techniques. She also just purchased the ebook, so you can always have that on your iPad or something, or if you're traveling. No, sorry, Jessica, I didn't mean to be confusing. The Tapestry Discovery Box is every quarter. It will always be every quarter. This box in April and the July box will be about color theory. So those 2 boxes together make 6 months of color theory in the Tapestry Discovery Box. Did not mean to confuse anyone. The one in July will be about complementary contrast. The one in April is just about color harmony in general. So we're going to play with color theory. Okay, let's see. My next Change the Shed is on April 9, which is like 2.5 weeks from now, unless I end up with a bonus one. So I am doing a Patreon here. Those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. I am still here because of you. I really, 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 really appreciate it. I'm also showing stuff about my own personal work on Patreon that I'm not showing anywhere else. So if you're interested in a behind the scenes look at both what behind the scenes on Change the Shed and behind the scenes of my personal work, go over to Patreon and join up there. I have some issues today, as you will shortly see, with color choices. So I am guessing there will be some bonus Change the Shed Patreon stuff happening as I try to work those out. You'll see in just a minute what I mean. All right, I think I have hit everything on my little announcement list. Okay. Thank you. Hello from Ottawa as well. Right back at you. Love your book and loom suggestions. Awesome. Thank you. So, Ottawa, Canada. Love you guys. You Canadians. Sending you all the love. Because you're not getting it much from other sources in this country. Leslie's here from Vermont. I am so happy y'all are here. Let's look at this. So I also set up the camera differently today. And here is, the camera is actually over my head. So let me get rid of this, which means there's danger, there was before, but danger that my head will be in the shot. So I will do my best to keep it out of what we're looking at. But let's talk about this piece. This is the It's Fine Tapestry, and I am doing it on the Shacked Eris loom. It's a lot of fun. Actually, let me see. Let's show you the cartoon. Those of you who are new, this is most of the cartoon. I think I showed this last week with the color choices that I picked. So, of course, last night, as I'm preparing for today, I started weaving with these color choices and realized, I've got some value problems. So let's look at that, and we will see what we can do. This is sideways, and you'll see that when I'm move this picture. So I am weaving the tapestry sideways, starting at what you see on the right of this image. So you can see here, this is confusing because I marked it on the warp as well, but there, maybe you can see better. I'm weaving from the side, and I've got a double set going on. So you'll see the warps are doubled, and I'm gonna weave that foot. The first thing that'll be double set, I think, yes, will be this leg and foot, and this pant leg will probably be the very first thing. But here's where I ran into trouble. Let's see. You can see the colors that I have started, and I've got some issues here. My first issue was that I never weave with green. So I was looking for Harrisville Color Singles in green. These are the only two greens I found. I found a bunch of turquoise. I use a lot of turquoise. I don't use grass green, although I used some in the handbasket piece. I can't find those yarns. So I have a bit of a problem because this dark green, which is a lovely green, this is all going to be like a green area here, is actually a similar value to these, the pants this person is wearing. So the green is darker, and I'm thinking it might work, but not super pleased about that. And I could change the pants color. Of course, we could make the pants yellow or something. Maybe that would be the solution. And just go with the green. My other choice is to dye something, or also these are Weaver's Bazaar colors that I just grabbed. I could mix some of these in with one of these greens. This is too bright for me to make, there's a big area of green and I don't want it this bright. I could either tone it down with some of another yarn line. And we're talking about that in the Tapestry Discovery box that comes up in April, playing with color. Or I could mix this with this and it would be very dotty, or I could change the color of the pants. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing there. But to start with, that's my dilemma. My other dilemma is I had the same problem up here. This is going to be sky. Let's see if you can see this cartoon. Of course, remember it's sideways. The cartoon goes, hang on, about there. So there are mountains up here. And the background here between the mountains and these burned trees is also a brown that is very similar to these pants. And so I realized, oh dear, this brown is going to come up against this pant color. And I'm looking at these two colors for the mountains. And wait for it, here is the pants. That's not going to work out. This is a fairly graphic tapestry. So should I have figured that out before I went on live YouTube? Yes. But did I? No. So it actually feels like maybe changing the pants color is going to be what happens. But let's weave on this middle section and we'll see what happens. Here's the other option for the grass is a teal. I have all kinds of values of teal. It's just it's not grass green. So dilemma. Oh, I really love this. This is a Harrisville Highland color, but I got it from one of those people that is selling small amounts. I think it was Sierra something who doesn't do it anymore, but I love this color. This would be perfect. But I only have this much, so it's not gonna be enough. And I have this super bright green. This is Harrisville Highland, but it would work for this. All right, that's all of my blah, blah, blah about the colors. Oh, Paula said, how did I decide which side to begin as the bottom of the weaving? That was, it was not random, but it could have been random. So here's the cartoon. She's saying, how did I decide? You can't see my cursor. How did I decide to start on the right side of this tapestry instead of on the left? That was because I am not sure about the design of the dumpster fire. So I didn't want to start with the dumpster fire because I was pretty sure about the foot and all of that. Like I could start with that and then I can decide about the rest of the design. So it's unusual for me not to have a cartoon completely solidified in my mind when I start. But in this case, the political situation in this country is crazy, changing every day. Whoever knows what's going to happen. And I'm not sure about this design. So I also didn't want to weave from the left side in with those flames coming up. I think it will be a nicer way to weave if I'm starting from more from the bottom of the flames going up. So hopefully that makes sense. Yellow pants would be quite striking. See, Marlena, that just occurred to me that there's no reason why we couldn't do like a bright color and that would solve pretty much all of my problems. So I think that might be the answer. Yeah, so so that's another thought, Paula. Here's the pants color I chose. She's saying khaki or like a lighter brown. That would also be a great solution. So unfortunately, all of my yarn is inaccessible at the moment. So we're going to have to probably take something out and redo it. Okay, cool. So I want to weave. So we've got these little clouds going on, which I've been ridiculously, they're so fun to weave. I mean, whatever. They're kind of cute. And so this one only goes up to here and then all of this joins. And so We'll have to see if we have a shedding problem at the end of this. But let's go forward with the belief that I'm going to keep the grain because I don't want to dye more grain. And we're going to probably change the pants color, but I'll weave some of this color and we'll just see what happens. Because there's a slit here, I can always take out a chunk of it quite easily. Okay, so what I did here, I should show you. Let's see if you can see it over here. I did a split weft outline right there, so that there's a crisp line between those two, between the color change here on the border. In the handbasket piece, I actually had a black line in there, and I thought about doing that this time, but I decided to just do a split weft outline. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit on what we're gonna look at here and make it focus. All right, now maybe we'll be able to see the split weft a little bit better. So right there, I had two wefts in the same shed. And that will make a nice crisp line. I'll do it on the other side as well. And then on these borders, of course, there will be a slit. All right. I've lost my cloud. I wonder if I didn't actually draw this cloud on. That's funny. Hold on, let's do it. So if I'm just gonna hold this. I showed this last time. Was it last time that I did this? Oh, there's where that goes. I think I just don't have these last dots on here for whatever reason. I missed them. Okay. I think I may focus on just doing this part because if I change the color of these pants, I want to make it easy to take out. But let's see what it looks like with this color, and then we'll go from there. It's hard to see with my hand in front of that light, isn't it? Let's just experiment. I'm very right-handed. Oops. Well, that's a good idea, Nan. Use the Harris fill. So I was talking about this. Just use the Harris fill and then order more, which would be quick and easy to do. Okay, so those are the two things I'm going to consider. Use the Harris fill and order more, or change the pant color. And I will probably sample that. So you might see that sample loom is still on my other table, and you may see some sampling of this. All right, did I match these? Basically, yes. I need a little clip light like right above so that it doesn't get, my hands don't get in the way. I spent a long time looking for the same green that I used in the handbasket piece, and I just couldn't find it. So that is how we got here. I've moved since I did the handbasket piece, which is the reason I can't find it. So I'm just hatching. These are just little clouds. They're sideways, of course. I'm just hatching those. I think, let's see. One of those form things, do I bring this cloud over a little bit more here, or do I keep it in the same spot? Curves, vertical curves. Tricky. All right, this will be easy to fill in. And also easy to take out if I decide to change the pant color. At this point, that sounds easiest to me because I don't have a source where I live for Harrisville Highland. So I wouldn't be able to work on this until I got that other color. So changing the pant color seems easiest to me. A lighter khaki or because that would solve my double problem of I have a value problem also between the green and the mountain color, which that is not such a problem because you can imagine the green. Actually, that might be an advantage. Having the green blend into the mountain colors fairly easily would be sort of a natural way for things to look. All right. Let's fill in. So that's the whole edge of the pants. And actually, as I put that in there too, I'll have to think about whether I want an outline around that form or not. If I change the color, that would be another consideration. Okay, so I have to fill in because we have to weave from the bottom to the top. I have to fill in this area first. I'm going to do the top of this little cloud. So it's there, and then I can weave around it. Because I've made my meet and separate work, I think. Okay. Sarah Sweat would needle that right in. I will needle it in later. Lona's here. I'm probably not saying that. Lona's here from Denmark. I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly. I'm so sorry. But that reminds me that I saw Tapestry and Conversations interview with Ulrika Mokdad yesterday, who is, if you're in any of my, almost any of my online classes, you know that I use Ulrika's work a lot as examples. And it was really fun to hear her speak. So if you miss it and you want to see it, you can just contact Nearly Wild Weaving. It's called Tapestry and Conversation, and they can set you up with the recording. It's well worth seeing. She has very sort of kind of graphic designs using a lot of regular hatching, which I really like. Yeah, that's another really good idea, Sally. Could I make the background look more like the muted color tones where I live, and the clothing would really pop with bright colors? I like that idea too. So that might mean I've got this bright green in here that I was going to do a little hatched fringe just along the bottom, but that might come out because if I went with that idea, because we don't have grass in Colorado. We do have mountains like this, but we do not have grass. Or we shouldn't have grass. Anybody who lives in Colorado who has grass, please reevaluate that choice. We don't have water for grass. So I like that idea, Sally. That's a good one. I mean, it might be that I think these pants are okay as they are. That is the only reason I didn't frantically dig through my yarn stash for some other pant color this morning. So, oh, that's a great question too, Margaret. What color is the boot going to be? So that was the other thing I was like, if there's not a contrast between this area and the background. So I was going to make the boot brown. And so if I don't change this, especially if most of the boot is this brown, it's not going to stand out. So that is a value issue, because we see value before we see hue. So that would be another reason to change the green. And now I'm back to Nan's suggestion of just ordering although this is kind of dark, I could look at the whole Harrisville line. Or I certainly would have some colors like Sally was suggesting of more muted tones. Okay, those are matching. In which case I could leave, I might not be able to leave the pants like this either. I would still need to make them brighter to stand out against if this was more of a brown tone. This area here will be, which is sort of a road, which is under the foot of the boot, will be a fairly light gray mixed with something else. And so I think that will be okay if the boot was brown. But you see what dilemmas Tapestry leads us to? This is why we always want more colors than we have. All right. All right, well, this would be how I would do this. It sounds like I will be doing it a second time, though. Sally, put on some of those Duluth trading overalls for bright coloring. Sure, we could do. In fact, I could change so I put the little flower pattern from the other tapestries in the socks, but I could put it in the pants, which would really make them stand out. Welcome, Christy. She's here from Reno, Nevada. I used to live in Reno, Nevada an eon ago. I lived there for about 6 years. High desert. Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. Reno, I appreciated. It has that same thing that I have here where there's desert close by and mountains. So you're so close to Lake Tahoe in Reno, which is wonderful. Okay, so the other area I can work on, let's see, can you see this? Not really. Okay, don't. All right, I'm just gonna leave it like that and hope that that works. Because I'm so sure I'm going to change these colors now, I don't want to go any further on the pants. So stay tuned to Patreon or Change the Shed for the update on that. Also, Patreon you can join for free. You don't have to be a paid member. So all the show notes and stuff are on Patreon now. So if you like those, join that. So the frame on the top side, this is the top of the tapestry, is much narrower than the one on the bottom, which was like an inch wider. And this color I'm fairly certain about. It seems like kind of a weird color for the sky, but I feel like I needed a weird color because the subject of the tapestry. So let's just try it. So here was my split weft outline. And let's see. So I need meet and separate. So there's a slit here, but I need meet and separate between, and there's a slit here. I need meet and separate between, sorry, there's a slit there and a slit there, between here and here. So let's make our decision. And I messed it up with the split weft outline. So I have to recalibrate where my next wefts are going. So in this shed, this one is going this way, and is this the shed we're in? No. So we will want, in the next shed, this to be going the other direction. So here, this is going this way, the white, and my little sky purple, weird sky color is going this way. I'm losing this is a pretty big curve. When you weave a shape all at once, it can actually really help your brain sort of figure out where it needs to go to make it look how you want it to look. What I'm saying is that I keep coming back to this shape and I'm sort of losing I'm losing the thread of the story. All right, this is a slit. This color is going to go the whole way. I think that's going to be okay because they're both sky. We'll see if I change my mind after I weave a little bit. Oops, I didn't do this one. Yeah, and right below this cloud is where I had that other mountain issue. So I'm going to leave this area until I fix the pants problem. We're just going to call it the pants problem. How about that? If you see a Patreon post that says the pants problem, you'll know what it's about. So that's another great question, Anne. That's always a good thing to ask. What's the focus of the tapestry? The focus of the tapestry is the dumpster fire. And so that is going to be bright reds and oranges. And so I need the rest. And so that either I can use the pants as like a reflection of what's happening in another place in the tapestry, or I can downplay it. If I really don't want people to pay any attention to the foot, but the foot is important. So that is another consideration, that maybe if the pants and the boot were a little bit brighter, like the fire will be, that could be helpful. 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. That's always a great question to ask. What is the focus? What's your intent? What are you trying to say? Where is the focus of the work going to be? So thank you, Anne. That makes a difference too when you're choosing colors, of course. Highly saturated colors will really draw your eye. And so that's the other reason, as soon as I put this green, oh, you can't see it, this green at the very bottom with the grass. Not only we don't have grass here, but it's so saturated that it really draws your eye, and it could be an actual problem with where I want the focal point of the piece to be. It will draw your eye to that corner, which might not be exactly what I want. Hello, Denise from Brazil and Jamie from Los Angeles. Welcome. Oh yeah, let's see. Not convinced about this cloud shape, but clouds come in all shapes. I think if anyone wants to take this on, I've had students do this before, if you wanted to weave an entire series of work about clouds, it would be amazing. Maybe one day I will do that. I like these clouds because they're pretty easy to weave once I figured out how to do it. Oh, that's a good comment, Sally. Sally says, I think the boots and the pant should predominate, as you were showing, walking away from the stress. So that is a positive take on it, right? I also have, you can't see it in your view right now, but above the flames, there is a butterfly, potentially, that I have put in the other 2 tapestries in this series. And it's done with silk and it's bright colors. So I could look at the colors I'm going to use for that butterfly and sort of think about using those in the pants and the boot. And also, I like that idea, Sally, of it being sort of it's a more positive spin on a tapestry that is supposed to just be fun to weave, but some days nothing is fun. All right. Well, you know how in my book I talk about don't make extra tabs? This might be an extra tab. Look at what I did there. I was not paying attention. I only I didn't even, look at that. I made a great big step. Oh, it's a little at an angle for you. I made a great big step here. It might be okay because it's a cumulonimbus cloud. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to keep going. We'll see how it looks. If I tear it out, you'll know. You'll know later. Here, let's keep that cloud big. A lot of white. Yeah, that was definitely, I was talking and not paying attention, and I moved it over farther than I intended there. But if we slope it back, maybe maybe it'll be all right. Okay, I'm gonna fill in, what time is it? Okay. Let's fill in this edge as well. Because I started talking about meet and separate, let's make sure we have it correct. Actually, you can see right here that we do. This one is going that way. Hold on, maybe that's easier to see. That one's going that way in that shed. This is the same shed that's open, and this is going that way. So that's what I want, because I need this in meet and separate, because this is not a slit. This is a form where I need this color to be able to weave over that color. So let's fill this in. And this is the edge of the border. So there is a slit right here that will go all the way up the tapestry. And for this little bit, it's only 4 warps wide. It is thundercloud time. We're gonna get, we don't actually get a ton of thunderstorms here, but I know other places in the US. We get them, but they aren't until July. We call it our monsoon season, but people who live in the eastern US laugh at us for that. That's when our rain comes. About the time you're hiking up at 14,000 feet. That's when the thunderstorms come. We don't really get them in the spring, but we get a lot of wind. All right, so this will need to be stitched, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I may just go with 6, because this is Harrisville Color Singles and this is the bleached Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh is thinner. All right, so I'll stitch those, and then this other one is just gonna fill. Let me flatten the shed. Sometimes it's quicker if you just have a few warps to just pick it. And that can also be easier to manage your weft tension. This slit will end. There's a big slit here along the bottom of this cloud, but that will end right there. So I won't have, it's not ideal to have a slit, like this will be a big slit, and this would, to have that slit keep going for a long way in a piece that's gonna be hung sideways, that would not be ideal. It wouldn't be impossible, but I might have chosen an interlock instead of sewing the slit, if that was going to keep going in that way. And ridging is easy to happen in a pattern like this. Okay. Well, you all, let's see. That has been super useful. Thank you for all of your input. Y'all are awesome. I will figure out, I might do both things. I might order the Harrisville color, and I know I'm not gonna find any other green in my stash. So I either have to order some more, mix yarns of different, I have plenty of Array or Weaver's Bazaar that I could use for the grass. So that's a possibility. But I really like what y'all are saying about the colors of, changing the colors of the boot and the pants. So I'm gonna play with that on my sample loom, and I will show it to you on Patreon and on the next Change the Shed, which I think I said was April 9. Yeah, we'll figure out what is happening by then. And I should be up to doing some double set work. So the 16 ends per inch thing should be starting in that boot area by the next Change the Shed. So that will be fun. Oh, that's a good idea. Margot says interlocks would be a good Tapestry discovery box. Wait, I'm going to write that down. I think it might be on my list, but yes, I like that idea, Margot. Are the boots Doc Martens? They could be. I didn't have a specific, I'm trying not to make sure that it's a specific. I just wanted it to look like a hiking boot. I don't even wear hiking boots when I hike. I wear tennis shoes, but I wanted it to look like a hiking boot. So yeah. So thank you all for coming and for all your great suggestions. I'm sure some of you will have more suggestions on Patreon. And I'll put this video on Patreon with show notes. So if you have more thoughts about that, on the free version, you can go there. You can leave comments on YouTube as well. But if you're on Patreon at all, you can leave comments there also about what you think about the color choices. And I will work on those and do some sampling. And by April 9, we should have hopefully some new options. All right, everybody, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing some weaving. I hope you're having a good spring. Don't get struck by lightning if you have thunderstorms wherever you are. I know there's been some horrible weather in the middle of the country. I'm sorry to hear about some of St. Louis's difficulties, and also stuff about the California fires and air quality and all of those things. So one day at a time, right? Good. Corinne said this has helped her color issues. It's just one of those things where you have all of these things lined up, and one, there's one value problem and it changes everything. So lots of fun. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I will see you soon. I'll see you on Patreon, and I will see you on April 9 for Change the Shed, and maybe I'll see you in another class. It's really great to hang out with all of you, and maybe sometime we can hang out in person. It's a little weird for me to just be talking and not hear your voices. So in my head, I hear your voices, but yeah, not in person. Anyway, see y'all later. Have a great weekend. It is Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and that you go outside. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.